And welcome to our wonderful podcast here today with your host, myself, Roel Roberts, and we're going to talk to you a little bit about nutrition and some top tips that you can remember to add to your daily nutrition to improve your optimal fitness and performance, or even just your optimal energy levels throughout the day for the regular person. So, as we always start off today on my podcast, I just want to talk to you a little bit about the Gain and Grow podcast and how we are building fitness and education into one segment for you to easily consume as our wonderful listeners. So, I'm going to start off today, as I always do on my podcast, with a little bit of a review of my week. It's been wonderful. I really spent this week on a little bit of my own self-care, going on my daily walks, doing things like writing more, working on my performances in the gym, getting more sleep, getting more rest, but also on the social side of things. I've been in numerous basketball tournaments throughout the city. I've also been conversing with my friends, having good chats and conversations about different things that are going on in our lives. And it's been great to talk to my family and wonderful friends that are back home for me, which is in Canada. So that's a little bit about my week. One thing that I did really enjoy about this week that I was listening to a few podcasts, and one was finding your purpose. And I think it's really important when you find your purpose, it changes everything in your life. For example, finding something that you really enjoy and making sure that happens and you do it for you. I think that's quite important. And I think a lot of us sometimes tend to live our lives a little bit for others. And we tend to not put ourselves first because we see it as selfish, or we see that we have to provide, especially as men. So I think one of those things are just taking a step back and taking time for you, because without you, there's all the other things don't matter. So it needs to be a focus on giving some time to yourself. I'm not saying just go AWOL and do everything for yourself. I'm saying give yourself an hour out of a day if you can, 30 minutes, whatever it is, and put that into something that you're really passionate about. Put it into your self-care, whether it's exercise, whether it's eating better, whether it's sleeping, whether it's just socializing and having more fun with friends, or even if it's spending more time with your family. Make sure you do that. Now, we're going to segue into the podcast. So I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about nutrition. I've written down a few notes just to kind of make sure I'm not missing any points. So for me personally, nutrition is one of the utmost important things that you can do if you really want to develop better energy levels, you want to feel better, you want to look better, and also it's going to help you with your performance if you're doing something in the gym or anything, physical training, mental training, or anything like that. It just helps you feel better. So first, I'm going to start off with some of the top tips to give you better, healthy eating tips, because nutrition, we talk about health. We're going to talk a little bit about sleep and recovery. And all those things are going to tie into why it is important for health and your overall fitness in general. So first thing is first, we're going to start off with making sure that you are bumping up that fiber. So fiber can be from anything. You can talk about blueberries, apples, broccoli, certain types of fruits and veg, spinach, all those things. You need to bump that up if you really want to have a stronger nutritional diet for yourself. That's going to help you with a lot of things inside your internal body, with digestion. It's going to help you with energy. It's going to help you feel better and actually help you with nutrients and providing the right nutrients for your gut health. And ultimately, you're going to have a better time passing through that digestive system. You want to make sure you're focusing on eating a lot more fruits and vegetables. Those can be, like I said, I mentioned a few earlier, anything that you can add in there, fruits and veg. The more color, the more variety, the better. That's what you want to do. Now we're going to talk about a little bit of the breakdown. We talked a little bit about the fiber. We're going to talk about carbohydrates, because I think there's still a misdemeanor, a myth about carbohydrates. You got to stay away from carbohydrates if you want to lose weight. That is not the best strategy. You need to have carbohydrates into your diet because it's part of your energy sources. I know there's some people talking about ketosis and stuff, using fat for energy, but the best thing to do is use the right carbs, good carbs, right? We're talking about whole grain carbohydrates. You can talk about, for example, you can be talking about anything from certain whole grain breads. You talk about, types of cereals, different things like that you can use to really give you that energy boost and long-lasting energy. Those are really great. Plus, they're really good for the body as well. Making sure you're eating healthy fats. So that can be anywhere from, legumes, nuts, all those different things like that. Those are really good, healthy fats that you can use. Olive oil as well. And if you're talking about going back to the carbohydrates, or even just talking about proteins, you can get a mix of lentils, beans, all those different things, lean meats. those for the protein side of things, those are really important to really help you with your energy as well. So it's going to be great for your diet. It's the protein is going to help you rebuild the muscle, right? Then you're going to have the carbohydrates, which is going to give you the power and the energy, along with the fats as well, because you do need the fats because it does help with energy as well, and it also helps with your overall performance in the gym or anything that you are doing as well. Now, the final thing to really tie all those three things, so we talked, I'm going to go back again, carbs, protein, fats, good fats. Now you need to make sure you're incorporating the most important thing as well, is hydration. So water, making sure you're drinking as much fluids as you can, preferably water, because it doesn't have much sugars in it, doesn't have anything in it, doesn't have sodium, unless you're drinking the sugar water and all that stuff like that. But try to drink as much water as possible. Don't wait till you're thirsty, right? Try to make sure that you are staying hydrated throughout the day, before you work out, during your workout, and after your workout. Those three things are so important because it's going to make sure your performance doesn't start to waver after a start or beginning or at the end of your workout. You want to make sure you're fueling that muscle with a lot of water, with all those things to help nutrients pass through the body, and it's going to help you feel so much more better. Now, with physical performance, if you want to focus on physical performance, we can talk about fitness. That's my main focus of this podcast, is you want to make sure you're having about 45 to 65% of your diet to be carbohydrates. Okay, 10 to 30% to be protein, and then from 25 to 35% to be fats. Now, that's just to kind of help you fuel if you know you're going to be doing a big task, like, for example, running a marathon, you're going to be playing a high-level sports, you're going to be doing a high-level workout. Even just if you want to be prepared for a heavy workout, hey, today I'm doing legs, I want to make sure I'm ready to go, I'm not going to feel lethargic, I'm not going to feel down. I need to make sure I'm prepping myself a few hours before, if I'm going to eat certain meals or whatever it is, to make sure I'm ready for that workout, or even the night before, having a nice meal before. Because like myself, I like to work out fasted in the morning. I'll make sure I have a nice meal that has all these things so I'm ready for the next day. Now, those are very key important things to help you go through a very, very strenuous workout. Now, with that, on top of that, you want to make sure you're staying hydrated. So making sure that you're actually drinking water, drinking as many fluids as you can, with not much sodium, no sugars. You want to make sure you're ready to go. Your body is feeling great. So in the morning, one thing, like I always mention, is I drink at least a liter or a liter and a half of water as soon as I get up. That really helps me get the system going, get the body prepped. I like to do my little bit of mobility in the morning, whether I go for a walk, get some sun, or if I'm doing my workout, going straight to the gym. That gives me time for my body to prepare itself, get ready for what's coming ahead. Now, timing is everything when you come to consumption of food, especially if you're getting ready for a workout. You can't just go and say, okay, I'm going to eat right now, this big meal, then I'm going to go straight to the gym. We know that's not going to work. You're going to feel lethargic. Your body is actually using its energy right now to digest that food. Number two, if you're doing like heavy deadlifts or you're doing any type of workout, sprinting, whatever you're doing, playing a sport, you're not going to feel good. You're going to probably want to throw up, and it's not going to turn out well for you. So give yourself a few hours. If you're going to eat something, maybe I would say the closest gap to maybe go to the gym, give yourself an hour and a bit, an hour maybe, but I wouldn't do 45 minutes. There's other things you can use and protocols inside that you can use if you want to have a quick snack, like a banana is great for energy and carbs. You can have, for example, I know some people that do a bagel with peanut butter and some jam. So you're getting your sugars, your fats, and you're getting some little bit of protein in there too, and you're getting your carbohydrates as well. That's a really good thing to take. You can even add a little protein shake to that as well, just to get bump the protein a little bit up. But there's so many different things you can use. It's just how you use it and the timing you do use it. So moving on, I'm going to give you 5 tips right now that you can use to help nutrition fuel your everyday workout, or just what it does for your body. Now, rebuilding is so important, and with rebuilding, you need to have protein. That's why protein is one of the most important things to make sure you add into your diet to help you repair your muscles after a workout and help you grow your muscles as well. It's all a part of the recovery process, and that's what we want. That's when our body is most susceptible to those adaptations that we want to add. So if you use protein, you're going to use it to grow your body, grow your muscles, and improve yourself for the next task that's coming at hand, right? So improving your performance, right? Now, we're going to move on to going green. So eating more vegetables, having more, for example, vegetables in your life that are going to give you that energy, that push. Every snack or every meal, try to add some greens or some veggies to your meal. So whether, you're having a salad, you're going to have a few cucumbers cut up with some tomatoes, you're going to add a little bit of broccoli to your meal that you're having. Whatever it is, make sure you have it and try to have it in every meal. Try to be cognizant of it because it's so important in how it helps you with your overall nutrition. Now, eating the right carbs, that is so important. Don't be scared of carbohydrates, but you got to eat the right ones. So I'm not going to go grab a bag of chips, or I'm not going to go grab some cookies and say, hey, it has high dietary fibers. I'm going to eat this. Sometimes you don't really realize that sometimes that thing has a lot of sugar in it, and it's not really the best type of carb that we want. So you want to be having, like I mentioned before, whole grains. You can have rice, quinoa, many different things like that. You can have pasta, certain pastas. You can have many different things, certain breads, certain wraps, whatever it is you like to have. Try to make sure that it is as natural as it possibly can be in whole grains. Doesn't have too many additives. That's perfect for you for your carbohydrates. Now, focusing on food quality. Okay, the quality of your food matters. You can't just say, hey, you know what, I'm going to grab this meal number 5 from McDonald's and it has protein, it has fats, and it has carbs, and it has even some lettuce and tomato. That doesn't matter. That's not good stuff for you because it has a lot of additives. It has a lot of fake, artificial things in it that's not good for your body. I'm not saying you can't have it, but once in a while is okay. If you want to give yourself a cheat meal, something like that, that's fine, right? We all need to have balance, but eating that on a consistent basis, thinking that you're going to get the proper protein to fuel your workout is not the right thing to do because it's not going to help you in the long run. Now, one of the other things I wanted to help talk to you about is increasing and improving your nutrition to help, for example, the things that you want to benefit yourself in. For example, living a longer life, right? So you want to cut down on sugars. You want to replace saturated fats. You want to cut down on sodium intake, especially as you get an adult. You shouldn't be having at least no more than 6 grams per day because you don't want to have too much, especially with our blood pressure changing, especially with different things like diabetes. Those things we want to avoid because if we don't, as we know and it's proven through science, these are the side effects of eating too much sugar, too much high salty caloric foods, too much artificial foods. There's things that we need to make sure we're putting in place so we're living a healthier and longer life for longevity. Now, going a little bit further, I want to talk about 3 important sports nutrition facts. So, fueling the body is so important. So we talked about what you put into your body, like food that enhances stamina, strength, and clarity. Those are the 3 things that are so important, especially when you're thinking about performance with whatever you want to do. Now, the second thing is talking about is hydration. We talked about this already. It prevents dehydration. It also prevents fatigue. So staying hydrated prevents fatigue and dehydration, and it also optimizes the muscle performance because we're making sure we have proper water, we're getting the fluids that we need, and our muscles are not going to cramp as fast, and we're using that to help optimize our performance in whatever we're doing. And the last one is recovery. This is so important. It's helping you for recovery for an exercise. It's important to make sure that you're getting quality and enough sleep and making sure that you are getting the sleep that you need, because if you don't get the sleep you need, you're not going to have the quality of recovery to help your muscles grow, help your body repair itself from what you've done tearing the fibers. It's not going to recover well, and that can also end up leading to injury in the long run. So make sure you're getting quality sleep, good and quality foods, and you're also getting the quality movement that you need each day to make sure you're having a wonderful, nutritional balance, physical balance, mental clarity, and cognition. And lastly, I know this is something that for some people that do these things, making sure you're cutting down or cutting back on the alcohol consumption. That can actually have a big decrease in your performance in the gym, also in how you feel at next day. I know this when people go over through hangovers or whatnot. Those are things that you want to try and avoid, especially if you're trying to optimize your health and fitness. And if you're also trying to accomplish certain goals, that could be one of the factors that are holding you back. So making sure that you're looking at the whole picture of your nutrition, your sports performance, or whatever you're trying to accomplish your goals, make sure you are trying to put yourself in the best place forward so you can accomplish that. So thank you very much for spending this time to really connect and share and learn about some of the things that we want to focus on for our nutrition and some top tips. If you need any more help with anything at all, please feel free to hit me up on www.gainxgrow.com or you can hit me up on the socials at GainXGrow on Instagram or Roel_Roberts on Instagram as well. You'll find a lot more content on there, some videos, some cool things I'm sharing over there all the time, just about things that we're doing, collaborations and whatnot. And hopefully soon we are going to have some key guests here just talking about different things in their fitness journey and what they've done to be successful at what they do. So yes, without further ado, guys, please support the podcast. Thank you so much for coming here. It's GainXGrow Podcast. This is episode 13. So thank you very much for being here with us and really sharing and supporting. All right. Wish you guys the best and stay tuned for more. Take care.